Cheese often gets a bad reputation, too fatty, too salty, too indulgent. But what many people don't realize is this: certain types of cheese, when chosen carefully, can actually become powerful tools in the fight against sarcopenia. In today's video, I'll walk you through 3 specific types of cheese, backed by clinical research, that are packed with high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential amino acids like leucine and casein, which help preserve and repair muscle. While many turn to supplements or protein powders, the real solution may already be sitting in your refrigerator. In today's video, I'll walk you through 3 specific types of cheese, backed by clinical research, that are packed with high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential amino acids like leucine and casein, which help preserve and repair muscle. These aren't your average snack cheeses. These are functional foods that doctors and geriatric nutrition experts are increasingly recommending to older adults who want to stay strong, stable, and self-sufficient. I'm Dr. Thomas Reed, and with nearly 30 years of experience helping people over 50 restore their strength, I can confidently say, the right kind of cheese is not only safe, it may be one of the most effective and accessible foods to support muscle regeneration after 65. Before we begin, drop a comment below and let me know, where are you watching from? I love hearing from viewers all around the world. And if this topic matters to you, make sure to subscribe. We share daily science-backed health tips to help you stay strong, healthy, and independent, one meal at a time. You might be thinking, cottage cheese. Really, for many, it brings back memories of strict diet plans from the 1980s. But don't let its modest appearance fool you. This humble dairy food is actually one of the most powerful muscle-building tools available to adults over 50, and it's backed by solid nutritional science. Let's break it down. Just half a cup of low-fat cottage cheese gives you 14 grams of high-quality protein, all for only 81 calories. That means nearly 70% of its total calories come from protein. To put that in perspective, regular cheddar cheese offers only about 24% of its calories from protein. It's clear why cottage cheese stands in a league of its own, but the benefits go beyond just protein quantity. Cottage cheese is also rich in leucine, an essential amino acid that plays a critical role in muscle protein synthesis. Each half-cup serving contains over 1 gram of leucine. Why does that matter? As we age, our muscles become more resistant to growth signals. Older adults typically need around 3 grams of leucine per meal to truly trigger the muscle-building process. A single serving of cottage cheese gets you a full third of the way there with minimal effort. One of the things I appreciate most about cottage cheese, especially for my older patients, is how incredibly easy it is to eat. Many seniors struggle with chewing tougher proteins like red meat or poultry, or they simply lose their appetite as they get older. Cottage cheese is soft, creamy, and gentle on the digestive system. You can eat it right from the container, mix it with fresh fruit, or blend it into a smoothie where it practically disappears in taste and texture. What makes cottage cheese especially effective is the type of protein it contains: casein. Casein is a slow-digesting protein, meaning it delivers a steady release of amino acids to your muscles over the course of 6 to 8 hours. Think of it as a time-release shield quietly working in the background to support muscle maintenance all day long. And this slow release is especially beneficial at night. Eating cottage cheese before bed helps reduce the body's tendency to break down muscle tissue during sleep. One large clinical study involving nearly 1,000 older adults found that those who incorporated cottage cheese into their daily routine saw significant improvements in muscle mass over time. In particular, the slow-digesting casein proved most effective during periods of low activity, such as recovery or sedentary phases. So how do you incorporate cottage cheese into your meals? For breakfast, try mixing it with antioxidant-rich berries and a drizzle of honey. If you prefer savory, chop up some tomatoes, cucumber, and toss in fresh herbs like dill or chives. You can also use cottage cheese as a protein-rich base for dips and spreads. At dinner, it fits beautifully into casseroles or can be used as a lighter substitute for ricotta in pasta dishes. Some of my patients have even started replacing mayonnaise with cottage cheese in chicken or tuna salad. It offers the same creamy texture with more protein and less fat. Why breakfast? After fasting all night, your muscles are most responsive to protein intake first thing in the morning. That early serving of cottage cheese can set the tone for better muscle preservation and recovery all day long. Now here's one that might surprise you: Parmesan cheese, or as the Italians proudly call it, Parmigiano Reggiano. Most of us think of it as a simple pasta topping, just a sprinkle here or there. But in reality, this aged cheese is one of the most nutrient-dense, muscle-building foods available. And that's no exaggeration. What makes Parmesan so remarkable? Just 1 ounce, roughly the size of your thumb, delivers over 10 grams of complete protein. That's one of the highest protein concentrations of any cheese. And for older adults who may eat smaller meals or have reduced appetites, this concentrated nutrition is incredibly valuable. But there's more. Parmesan's benefits go beyond protein content. During its aging process, which lasts a minimum of 24 months for true Parmigiano Reggiano, natural enzymes begin to break down the protein structures into smaller, more digestible fragments. It's almost like the cheese pre-digests itself, making it far easier on your stomach. And for many of my older patients whose digestive systems aren't as efficient as they once were, this makes a huge difference. Many seniors tell me they feel bloated or uncomfortable after eating heavy protein-rich foods. But Parmesan, thanks to its extensive aging process, is gentle on digestion. In fact, after 2 full years of aging, authentic Parmesan contains virtually no lactose. That means even people with lactose intolerance can usually enjoy it without any issues. And here's something most people don't realize: Parmesan is also a calcium powerhouse. Just 1 ounce gives you about 331 milligrams of calcium, nearly 25% of your daily requirement. You might be thinking, isn't calcium just for bone health? Well, yes, but it's just as essential for your muscles. Every single muscle contraction, from lifting your grocery bag to getting up from a chair, depends on calcium. Without enough calcium, your muscles simply can't function at their best, even if you're getting plenty of protein. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism has shown that insufficient calcium intake is associated with accelerated muscle loss in older adults. So when you eat Parmesan, you're not just feeding your muscles protein, you're supplying the calcium they need to function properly. Now, let's talk about cost. Yes, authentic Parmigiano Reggiano can be pricey. But here's the key: you don't need a lot to reap the benefits. Just 1 to 2 ounces a day, or around 2 tablespoons of freshly grated cheese, can make a meaningful difference in your muscle health. And when it's the real thing, a little goes a long way. The flavor is so rich, so satisfying, that you naturally eat less and enjoy it more. And please grate it fresh if you can. Those pre-grated containers at the supermarket just don't measure up. When you use the real stuff, the nutritional quality is better, the taste is fuller, and the experience is far more satisfying. You'll likely find that you feel full and content with a smaller portion. So how do you add Parmesan into your daily routine? It's simpler than you might think. For breakfast, try grating it over scrambled eggs. The combination delivers more than 20 grams of high-quality protein to start your day strong. At lunch, sprinkle it generously over soups, roasted vegetables, or salads for an instant flavor upgrade. For dinner, use it as a topping for steamed broccoli or cauliflower, or mix it into a vegetable gratin for a protein-packed dish that feels indulgent and nourishing at the same time. And yes, you can even enjoy small chunks of Parmesan as a snack, perhaps with a few almonds or slices of apple. The trio of protein, calcium, and flavor makes it deeply satisfying and surprisingly filling. When shopping, look for wheels stamped with the words Parmigiano Reggiano and the distinctive dotted rind. These markings are your guarantee of authenticity. It's worth the investment because true Parmesan offers superior nutrition, flavor, and value in every bite. So if you're looking for a simple, delicious way to build muscle, support digestion, and boost calcium, Parmesan isn't just a garnish. It's a powerhouse. Our third muscle-building cheese might not be the flashiest, but it carries a powerful secret: ricotta. Unlike most cheeses, ricotta is made from whey, the liquid that remains after curds are separated in the cheese-making process. At first glance, it might seem like a leftover, but don't let that fool you. That leftover liquid is rich in fast-acting whey protein, giving ricotta a unique edge when it comes to rebuilding aging muscles. Here's why that matters. Most cheeses are dominated by casein, a slow-digesting protein. Casein can be great for long-term muscle support, but after physical activity, your body craves something faster. Ricotta, with its high whey content, delivers rapid muscle fuel. Within just 30 to 60 minutes of eating it, your body begins absorbing the amino acids and delivering them straight to your muscles exactly when they need it most. Think about it. After a brisk walk around the neighborhood or a few hours tending the garden, your muscles are primed for repair. That's when ricotta steps in, offering fast-absorbing protein that gets to work immediately. A half-cup serving of whole milk ricotta provides around 14 grams of protein, similar to cottage cheese, but with a slightly different amino acid profile. One of its standout features is its abundance of branched-chain amino acids, BCAAs. These are the amino acids like leucine, isoleucine, and valine that bypass the liver and go straight to the muscles, accelerating recovery and promoting strength. Ricotta's creamy, velvety texture makes it a favorite among my older patients, especially those with dental concerns or difficulty swallowing. It's easy on the palate, gentle on the stomach, and mild in flavor, which makes it incredibly versatile. You can blend it into a range of dishes, both sweet and savory, without overpowering other ingredients. Another plus: ricotta is naturally lower in sodium than most cheeses. With just about 100 millimolar of sodium per half cup, it's far below the 400+ milliliters found in many aged cheeses. For older adults monitoring blood pressure or cardiovascular health, this makes ricotta a smarter, heart-friendly choice. And the science backs it up. A clinical study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that older adults who consumed roughly 3/4 cup of ricotta daily didn't just gain muscle, they improved their balance, walking speed, and strength. In just 12 weeks, the men in the study showed notable improvements in lower body strength and stability. That's more than muscle, that's mobility, confidence, and independence. But ricotta's benefits extend even further. Whey protein found in abundance in ricotta has been shown in multiple studies to help lower blood pressure and support cardiovascular health. So when you enjoy ricotta, you're not only fueling muscle repair, you're protecting your heart at the same time. For those over 50, that dual impact is invaluable. Let's talk about how to enjoy it. At breakfast, try blending ricotta with honey and cinnamon, then spreading it over whole grain toast. It's a protein-packed, heartwarming start to the day, like a healthier cream cheese. For lunch, stir it with fresh herbs and use it as a dip for raw veggies, or as a spread on sandwiches in place of mayo. It adds creaminess without the empty calories. At dinner, ricotta shines in stuffed vegetables like bell peppers or zucchini layered into casseroles or stirred into tomato sauces to add richness and protein without relying on cream or butter. And yes, it works for dessert too. Blend it with cocoa powder and honey for a guilt-free chocolate mousse, or mix it with berries for a protein-rich snack. Some creative patients even use ricotta in baking, replacing some flour in pancakes or muffins to sneak in more protein. When shopping, go for whole milk ricotta. While part-skim options are lower in calories, they may lack the same satiety and muscle-building potential. Look for clean ingredients, milk vinegar or citric acid and salt. That's all you need. The best time to enjoy ricotta: within 2 hours after activity, whether that's walking the dog, stretching, or doing light chores. That's when your muscles are most ready to absorb protein, and ricotta delivers exactly what they need fast. In short, ricotta is more than just a soft cheese. It's a muscle recovery tool, a heart ally, and a delicious addition to your daily meals. If you've been overlooking it, now is the time to give it a second glance. Now that you know which cheeses help build muscle, let's talk about when to eat them, because the timing of your meals can make all the difference. This is where recent research has turned some long-held beliefs upside down. For decades, many of us were told that dinner should be the biggest meal of the day. But if your goal is to preserve or rebuild muscle after age 65, the most critical meal, surprisingly, is breakfast. Here's why. After a night of sleep, your body has been in a fasting state for 8 to 10 hours. During that time, it draws energy from internal sources, and unfortunately, that includes breaking down muscle tissue. That's why your first meal of the day is more than just fuel. It's your opportunity to switch your body out of muscle breakdown mode and into muscle building mode. Scientific studies, including research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, show that older adults who consume 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast maintain significantly better muscle protein synthesis throughout the day. In contrast, those who have a typical low-protein breakfast toast fruit maybe just coffee miss that crucial muscle repair window. Yet, the reality, most people over 65 average only about 8 grams of protein at breakfast, not nearly enough to trigger meaningful muscle growth. That's where the muscle-building trio of cheeses becomes a game-changer. Imagine starting your day with half a cup of cottage cheese stirred with fresh berries, then topped with a generous sprinkle of freshly grated Parmesan. Right there, you've got 24 grams of high-quality protein and over 2 grams of leucine, the amino acid that directly triggers muscle growth. That's enough to flip your body from muscle loss to muscle gain before you've even finished your morning coffee. But it's not just breakfast that matters. The way you spread protein throughout the day also plays a crucial role. Many older adults fall into the light-heavy pattern, very little protein at breakfast and lunch, followed by a big serving of meat at dinner. That sounds logical, but your body can't store excess protein for later use. In fact, your muscles can only process around 25 to 35 grams of protein at one time. If you eat 60 grams of steak at dinner, your body simply can't use it all for muscle building. It's like trying to water a thirsty plant with a bucket all at once. It overflows and goes to waste. The better strategy: aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. For example, breakfast cottage cheese with fruit and a dash of Parmesan lunch, a whole grain sandwich with ricotta and grilled vegetables. Dinner, your usual main dish finished with fresh Parmesan for added protein and flavor. There's one more insider tip, and it's backed by some of the most exciting research in geriatric nutrition today. If you do any form of physical activity, even a short walk, light gardening, or stretching, try to consume one of these cheeses within 2 hours afterward. According to studies from the Journal of Applied Physiology, this post-exercise protein window dramatically enhances your body's muscle-building response. When you pair movement with protein, you're not just preserving muscle, you're actively rebuilding it. So the next time you lace up your walking shoes or tend to your flower beds, think ahead. What will you eat afterward to help your muscles bounce back stronger? Because with the right foods at the right time, especially these 3 powerful cheeses, muscle recovery and strength building become not only possible but deliciously simple. You don't need intense workouts to benefit from building muscle after 50. Even light activities like walking, stretching, or simply doing household chores count as meaningful movement for your muscles. What matters most is this consuming high-quality protein while your muscles are still in a responsive, active state. That's when your body is most ready to rebuild and strengthen. One of the most common questions I get from patients is, how much cheese should I be eating each day to support my muscle health? So let's break it down in a practical, science-backed way. First, you need to understand your total daily protein requirements. For adults over 65, most health authorities, including the International Sarcopenia Initiative, recommend consuming between 1.0 and 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight each day. Here's how to calculate it for yourself. Take your weight in pounds and divide it by 2.2 to convert it into kilograms. Then multiply that number by 1.2. Let's say you weigh 150 pounds. Divide that by 2.2 and you get roughly 68 kilograms. Multiply that by 1.2 and your target protein intake comes to about 82 grams per day. Of course, you're not expected to get all of that from cheese alone. Balanced nutrition matters, but the right types of cheese like cottage cheese, Parmesan, and Ricotta can provide a surprisingly generous share of your daily protein, especially in meals where other protein sources are lacking. Based on the studies that produce the best results for muscle gain in older adults, I typically recommend 2 to 3 servings of muscle-building cheese each day. Each serving should provide about 10 to 15 grams of protein. This might look like half a cup of cottage cheese at breakfast, an ounce of Parmesan at lunch, and a third of a cup of ricotta at dinner. That gives you around 35 to 40 grams of protein, nearly half your daily need, from just these 3 functional foods. Now you might be wondering, what about the fat and calories in cheese? That's a fair concern, but keep in mind, we're talking about moderate, intentional portions. The total caloric load from these servings is about 300 to 400 calories per day. For a nutrient-dense food that supports muscle strength, balance, and independence, that's a smart trade-off. Consistency is the real key. In the studies where participants gained the most strength, they consumed cheese daily for a period of 60 to 90 days. Eating it once or twice a week won't be enough to move the needle. Think of your cheese servings like a daily supplement, a small, steady investment in your future health. I often tell my patients that extra ounce of cheese you eat today might be the reason you can still carry your groceries, climb stairs, or live independently a decade from now. And here's the exciting part. While cheese alone can support muscle retention, pairing it with the right kind of physical activity creates what researchers call a synergistic effect. That means the benefits of the two together are greater than the sum of their parts. The ideal exercise for older adults looking to build muscle is resistance training. But don't let that term intimidate you. Resistance training doesn't have to involve gym memberships or heavy weights. It can be as simple as getting up and down from a chair doing wall push-ups or using resistance bands at home. Studies show that when older adults perform light resistance training and consume 25 to 30 grams of protein, especially from fast-absorbing sources like ricotta, within 2 hours after their workout, their muscles respond more like those of someone decades younger. In fact, this strategy has been shown to restore a youthful muscle-building response even in adults over the age of 80. With thoughtful portions of muscle-supporting cheeses paired with the movement you're already doing, you're not just preserving strength, you're actively rebuilding it. And that can make all the difference in how you move, feel, and live in the years ahead. While cheese can be a powerful ally in preserving muscle as we age, it's important to approach it thoughtfully, especially if you have certain medical conditions or dietary concerns. Let's begin with lactose intolerance, a condition that becomes more common as we get older. The good news: many of the cheeses we've discussed, like aged Parmesan, cottage cheese, and ricotta, are generally well tolerated even by those with mild lactose sensitivity. Parmesan, for instance, contains virtually no lactose due to its long aging process. Ricotta and cottage cheese still contain some lactose, but far less than a glass of milk. If you're lactose intolerant, start slowly. Try small portions and monitor how your body responds. Some people also find relief by taking lactase enzyme supplements just before eating dairy. Now, if you're managing high blood pressure, sodium is something to keep an eye on. Aged Parmesan naturally contains more sodium. Cottage cheese varies by brand. Some have over 400 milliliters of sodium per half cup, while low-sodium options can contain less than 100 milliliters. Ricotta is naturally lower in sodium and often a safer choice. The key: always read the label, and when available, opt for low-sodium versions. Be sure to balance your cheese intake with plenty of potassium-rich fruits and vegetables, which help regulate blood pressure. Worried about cholesterol? You're not alone. But here's some reassuring news. Large-scale studies, including those published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, have found that moderate cheese intake when part of a balanced diet does not significantly increase the risk of heart disease for most people. Portion control is essential. If you're particularly concerned, opt for part-skim ricotta or low-fat cottage cheese. If you're on blood thinners like warfarin, consistency is key. Cheese contains small amounts of vitamin K, which can interfere with these medications if your intake varies widely. The solution isn't to eliminate cheese, but to enjoy it consistently and keep your doctor informed. Finally, for those with kidney disease or impaired kidney function, be cautious. High-protein foods, including cheese, can place additional strain on the kidneys. If this applies to you, consult your physician before making any dietary changes that increase your protein intake. Cheese can still be part of your diet, but it needs to be tailored to your medical situation and monitored carefully. Remember, cheese can be a supportive part of healthy aging, but it works best when personalized to your needs, your medications, and your overall health profile. Now that you've learned how powerful cheese can be for building and preserving muscle after 50, let's turn knowledge into action. Here's a practical, science-backed plan you can begin today. Simple steps to help you make the most of cottage cheese, Parmesan, and ricotta in your daily routine. Start with breakfast, because timing matters. Within an hour of waking up, give your muscles what they've been waiting for: all-night quality protein. Enjoy half to a full cup of cottage cheese, depending on your appetite. For a touch of natural sweetness and antioxidants, stir in fresh berries. Prefer something savory? Try mixing it with diced tomatoes, chopped basil, or chives. If cottage cheese isn't your thing, spread a few tablespoons of ricotta on whole grain toast. Add a drizzle of honey and a dash of cinnamon for a delicious protein-packed start to your day. Your goal: reach 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast. According to a 2014 study in the Journal of Nutrition, older adults who hit this target each morning had significantly better muscle retention than those who didn't. It's a critical opportunity to jumpstart your metabolism and muscle protein synthesis. At lunch, it's time for Parmesan to shine. Grate a generous ounce over your salad, soup, or sandwich. That's about 10 grams of protein in a flavorful boost. If you're having a lighter meal like vegetable wraps or roasted peppers, ricotta can double as a creamy spread or dip that adds both taste and muscle-friendly nutrition. Remember, consistent protein distribution throughout the day is vital. Aim for another 25 to 30 grams of protein at lunch to keep your muscle-building engine running. Come dinner time, be strategic. If you're cooking pasta, blend ricotta into your sauce for creamy texture and added protein. Serving roasted vegetables, top them with freshly grated Parmesan for a savory finish. If your main dish already includes meat or fish, a smaller portion of cheese is fine, or save it for an evening snack. Speaking of snacks, don't overlook them. After light activity, your muscles become especially receptive to protein. Keep small containers of cottage cheese in your fridge, pre-portioned servings of ricotta, or cubes of Parmesan on hand. Say you do a quick 10-minute routine, a few wall push-ups, standing and sitting in a chair, or lifting soup cans as light weights. Follow that with a protein-rich snack, and you'll enhance your muscle recovery dramatically. It's not just theory, it's backed by science. A 2017 study in the Journal of Applied Physiology showed that older adults who consumed fast-digesting protein like dairy within 1-2 hours after movement had significantly better muscle protein synthesis than those who delayed. To stay consistent, consider keeping a simple journal. Note which cheese you ate when and how much. After a couple of weeks, watch for subtle changes. More energy, easier stair climbing, or less effort when lifting groceries. After 30 days, you might feel stronger. And after 90, you could see noticeable improvements in your overall physical performance. So here's your first step. Make a grocery list and pick up all 3 cheeses: cottage cheese, real Parmesan, and ricotta. Because the journey to stronger muscles doesn't require extreme workouts or expensive supplements. It begins with simple, consistent steps, and it can start with what's already in your fridge. Second, take a moment today to calculate your personal daily protein requirement using the simple formula we covered earlier. Just take your body weight in pounds, divide by 2.2 to convert to kilograms, and multiply by 1.2. Write that number down and place it somewhere you'll see every day, like your refrigerator door. Let it serve as a gentle reminder of the goal you're working toward: maintaining strength and vitality through your later years. Next, let's get practical. Plan your meals for tomorrow. Ensure that each meal delivers 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein and include at least one of our 3 powerhouse cheeses: cottage cheese, Parmesan, or ricotta. This consistent intake not only fuels your muscles, but also supports metabolic health and energy throughout the day. Begin with just 5 minutes of movement. Stand up and sit down from a chair a few times. Do push-ups against a wall. Grab 2 water bottles and gently raise them as makeshift weights. Simple, safe, effective. Try doing this routine 2 or 3 times this week. It's not about going to the gym or breaking a sweat. It's about sending a signal to your muscles that they're still needed. According to research from the Journal of Gerontology, even light resistance movement paired with sufficient protein can significantly improve muscle strength in older adults. Now, here's something powerful. Mark your calendar for 90 days from today. That's your checkpoint. When that day comes, ask yourself, how do I feel? Am I stronger? Do daily tasks feel easier? Many people are surprised at how much can change in just 3 short months, especially when they stick to this plan. Let's not forget, muscle loss is not a guaranteed part of aging. Numerous studies, including findings from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, confirm that older adults who consume consistent protein and stay moderately active can build and retain muscle well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. But remember, knowledge means little without action. So here's the question. Will you take the first step? Will you pick up that container of cottage cheese for breakfast tomorrow? Will you sprinkle fresh Parmesan on your lunch? Will you commit to 90 days of daily intentional nutrition and movement? I believe you will. Because you deserve to age with strength, confidence, and independence. These 3 simple cheeses can be your partners on that journey. Use them wisely. Use them consistently. Your muscles are ready. They're just waiting for the fuel they need to grow stronger. It's never too late to build a stronger body. And now you know exactly how to start. Thank you for spending this time with me. Here's to your health, your strength, and many vibrant years ahead. Now, go eat some cheese. Your future self will thank you. And if this video helped, you don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone over 60 you care about.